All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return this video is smash that like button to let me know you watch this video and to stay tuned on in towards the second half of this video, guys. Right after this chart analysis, I have a ticker symbol to share with you guys you won't want to miss that we've talked about here on the YouTube. We've talked about it over on the Patreon, and since we mentioned it, it's jumped up 20% plus. It's pulling back now and consolidating. No better time than to start watching it now. And I'm also going to share with you guys the opportunities we found this morning over at the Discord. We hit 4 home runs, 20% plus, and our highest ones were 100% plus and 40% plus. So if that's something that interests you and you want to know what stocks I watch daily, you're more than welcome to join us. The link is down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together to maximize profits and minimize losses. So here we are with ticker symbol BB stock, right? BlackBerry limited stock. BB stock has actually been sitting kind of sideways, but it jumped up a little bit, hit the 18s, 17s, and then it started to pull back down. So right now, since the 17 mark, this is a very important rejection to be aware of, and also be aware that yes, this is sitting kind of sideways, but at the same time, we are seeing this just go downwards, and it is going into further weakness. It was in tug of war zone here and still in tug of war zone here, and excuse all the lines and drawing. I hope it's not confusing. I'm going to take this all away right now, but this area is becoming more weak. So let's go ahead and look at this without lines and drawings just so you could see it. So from the 50-day moving average, it's becoming a little bit more further down, and it's getting closer to those lows down here that I've talked about, $13 being a very important support level, and even down here $13.55, another important support level, and right now we're in the 1380s. Now if it crosses these levels, right, it does not mean that BlackBerry stock or BB stock cannot jump back up. I'm not saying that that's impossible, but the likelihood is becoming more and more difficult because of the pressure downwards. A lot of selling pressure, not a lot of people being attracted to it and wanting to bring it back up, because remember, this takes a lot of retail investors to jump on in and bring a stock up. This doesn't just naturally happen overnight and just a few dollars makes it jump. And then also it's a fight against the shorts, and what makes it go even higher, like we saw here and like we saw here, is shorts coming in as well. It's basically turning bears by obligation into bulls even though they were bears. So it's like getting two teams, one has 20 people, the other has 20 people, and all of a sudden, because the shorts have to cover, you take 10 from the other team, and now the team of bulls has 30 versus 10. Obviously 30 people, if they collectively come together and strategize, it could actually push things higher and make the 30 people team actually have more of an advantage than the team that only has 10, which is the bulls versus the bears. But right now, this is pulling back, and we need to be aware of it. I think one of the most important support levels is $13, and then the next one's down here at $12.34, $12.30 range, if you want to just round that down to $12.30. But those are the areas I would be watching carefully to see if the bulls are trying to reappear and bring it back up, or if the bears are just going to tear this down downwards, making the bulls become part of the bears, because the bulls selling are helping the bears, and selling pressure makes bulls have to turn into bears because they have to sell before they lose their gains or lose more than they anticipated to, right? So let's look at some points here that are important. The first thing is the 50-day moving average, 1507. Anything below it is bearish, anything above it is bullish. Now our lowest point here that I would watch is 1381. If that gets crossed, obviously the next point of reference is $13. We'll have to see if the bulls try to reappear and bring it back up, or if the bears are tearing this down fairly fast. The first resistance level, which kind of jumped up and got rejected, is right here at 1462. Now this does not signify or guarantee that the bulls will break through the 1507 mark, which is the 50-day moving average, but it is a stepping stone to get one step closer to it. The next goal after that would be 1507, and if 1507 gets crossed, the highest point of the day was 1521, 1520. That's what the bulls need to break through, turn into a support to get out of bearish territory, to pull further away from the 50-day moving average and start building up momentum to the upside. If all of that is accomplished, the next resistance level will be yesterday's high at 16.17, 16.18, give or take, for the bulls to continue the momentum and the rally and start to push things to the upside and get leverage on the chart. If you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell so you don't miss a single video that I post. Share this with a friend or someone in your community so they can receive the insight as well. And stay tuned. All I ask for is 3 to 5 more minutes of your time to share with you guys the opportunities we found over at the Discord this morning, as well as a ticker symbol you won't want to miss. And our highest home run was 100% plus. Stay tuned for that. And if that's something that interests you and you want to become part of, and you want to know what stocks I'm watching, the link to the Discord is down below in the description. And we look forward to having you join us. So the ticker symbol I have to share with you guys today is one that I mentioned here on the YouTube as well as on the Patreon. And in that same week, it went ahead and gave us 5 to 10% opportunities. And since then, going till now, since May 16th when I first mentioned it, it has given us a total return opportunity of 20% plus. Now it's pulling back a little bit, sideways consolidation, and there's no better time than start watching it now before the next catalyst, or if it goes further into weakness, becoming an even bigger opportunity. We're going to talk about this stock in just a moment. We're going to look at its chart and why this is a stock you want to have on your watch list. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the opportunities we found this morning over at the Discord. And if this is something you want to become part of, you're more than welcome to. The link is down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together to maximize profits and minimize losses. We look forward to having you join us. So we talked about CPI data a little bit in the morning, the 10-year treasury, how it spiked, and I was expecting it to cool off, and it certainly kind of did. And you're looking at stocks still kind of rallying and some kind of sitting sideways. But one of our first home runs that we caught early on in the morning as I was writing about this was MEDS, and it had jumped on the news that it had created a health passport app for iOS devices. That's basically saying for Apple. Anything related to Apple usually has potential or some momentum. We caught it at 510. This went up 100% plus. We're going to look at it in just a moment. We caught ANY at 247. This turned out to be a home run as well. The other one that we caught was XIN. This turned out to be a home run as well. We caught HAPP at 178. This turned out to give us 3 to 5% opportunities within its weakness and jumping back up. This was our worst performer of the day. And Z, dogs with a Z, not with an S. We caught this one at 205. So this turned out to be a home run as well. Let's look at these charts and when I mentioned them so we can see together how they reacted. This was a phenomenal day. Dogs gave us 20% plus as well. So that was a home run as well, almost 25%. And here's XIN. We caught this one at 288, pulled back a little bit towards the bell, jumped up, giving about 5 to 10%, pulled back again. And after all that volatility, took off to a highest point of 20% plus. This was a home run for the day. That was awesome. Now, the other one that turned out to be the biggest home run of the day and this week so far was MEDS on the news with the app on iOS platforms. We caught this one at 510 in the pre-market. It was not cooling off. It kind of consolidated and took off right away, giving 5 to 10% opportunities on these jumps, almost 20% on one of them, pulled back down. I mean, that volatility right there, several opportunities, even before the pre-market going into the market, pulling back again, pulling back again. I mean, just back and forth, 5 to 15%, almost 20% jumps. But after that, it took off, giving anywhere within this range 20% plus opportunities and a highest point of 100% plus. This was phenomenal, and it's still up 86% on the day as I took this screenshot in the afternoon. Now, ANY is another one that we caught, and it turned out to be a home run for the day. And we caught it at 247, pulled back a little bit, hit the 230s, took off pretty fast, giving a nice 10 to 20% plus opportunity, pulled back again, and took off to a highest point of 40% plus. This was a phenomenal day. Out of the 5 ticker symbols, even DOGZ, which gave us 20% plus, we hit 4 home runs, guys. what a great way to end the week. What a great way to go ahead and start off Thursday through all the volatility and all the uncertainty of CPI data. But if this is something that interests you, you're more than welcome to join us. The link is down below in the description to the Discord. So what ticker symbol do you want to add to your watch list? Well, this is a ticker symbol I talked about back in May 16th when we first talked about Clove as well, when it was heading towards the 7s and 6s, right? We talked about this way back then. It was really interesting to me. I had circled a support level that I was watching. Anything in the 7s and even below that was becoming more and more interesting to me, because what we do here in the Invest for Tomorrow community is catch stocks before they take off. So I did state this was speculative. I said it there, and it gave us already 10 to 30% jumps the last times we talked about it, since it was going towards $7. Jumped up again, giving us a nice return of almost 300% for those that caught it at $7. Congratulations. But we started talking about this one pretty early. We talked about Affirm. I showed this one on one of my last videos, and this is already up close to 10 to 20%. And the stock you want to add to your watch list is ABNB. Let's look at this chart together. And when we started talking about it, we talked about ABNB back when it was at 141. It pulled back a little bit more. I was really looking for that because it was getting closer to IPO pricing. I didn't expect it to go that low, but it did pull back, and this stock is getting close to those numbers when we caught it. But right on the day when we caught it, which was May 16th, right? It was the weekend from May 14th to the 17th. It dipped down to 130, becoming one of the best opportunities that we have seen Airbnb give us. It gave it again in the same week, and throughout that week, it gave 5 to 10% opportunities in those jumps, consolidated and took off now to a high of 152 most recently going into June. And right now it's in a downward trend, kind of cooling off. And there's no better time than to start doing your research and due diligence on a stock than when it's going back down. You already saw its weakness. You already saw its strength as well. And you can see in the chart that the opportunity is pretty big, and that may take months or a year, but this stock has room to grow, and it's changing the way we see hospitality and the way the business is done. And this is also an entrepreneurship type of sector, because a lot of investors are going to start trying to make their own hospitality ratings and opportunities through Airbnb, which is a business as well. There's a lot of room in this stock, in my opinion. This is not financial advice. I'm not here to tell you to buy, sell, or hold any positions of the stocks I mentioned. I'm just here to enlighten you guys on the opportunities I'm watching, why I'm watching them, and why you can start watching them as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.